Yo, what's going on, y'all? I hope you've got a sweet tooth because today we'll be talking about Velvet's cake. Holy! Coco was not kidding with the drawing, huh? Golly! Well, Velvet is an interesting unit that has some unique properties that make her a seemingly good character, but we will take a look at all of that. Like always, I'll go over what her kit does, then look at her performance, and give my final thoughts at the end. So don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and with that, let's get into it. Alright, so first off we got skill 1, sticky fingers. This skill has two parts. First, activated when entering full burst 2, which takes 5% of the enemy's ammo up to 6,000 rounds and stores it in her pouch. This is not actual ammo that she gets to use, think of it more like a status activation condition. Now the second part of her skill is activated when she uses full charge shots while not in full burst and only affects herself. She expends 100 of the ammo stored in her pouch with every shot and increases her attack by 30% and her attack damage by 30% for 3 seconds each. And the expanded ammo count for total ammo used by all allies, so it activates characters like Little Mermaid for example, so if specifically building her for those type of units, charge speed might be worth it. Next up we got skill 2, Bullets of Love, activates when performing full charge shots but now while in full burst. She expends 300 ammo with each full charge shot, and all allies get 25% of her attack as attack buff and increases their charge damage by 100% for 3 seconds. The second part of her skill activates when she does 50 normal attacks during full burst, which at first might seem crazy because she is a sniper rifle user, but that's because she changes her weapon during her burst. After landing 50 shots, she expends 300 rounds from her pouch and increases her own attack damage by 15% for 5 seconds and deals another 401% of her final attack as additional damage. Now, lastly, we got her burst skill, Perfect Execution. It's a 20-second burst, which is always good to see. Like I mentioned, she changes her weapon type, deals 7% of her final attack as damage, and increases her attack damage by 34.5% for 10 seconds. So this is an interesting kit in my opinion, and the only direct team buffs are the mild attack buff and a significant charge damage buff, so she will be best used with rocket launchers and snipers, but may also be a decent choice for teams with Little Mermaid that have little to no MG users. Her burst seems pretty weak, so it might be better that she is used as an off-burst B2, but it will also nerf her damage and the ammo expanding mechanic because she will not be able to perform 50 normal attacks in sniper form. So let's see how she actually performs in the next section. So here is the meat and potatoes, or should I say the whole cake, because she's Velvet. Anyway, I tested her in a few different teams. So first off we got the Little Mermaid, Scarlet, Black Shadow, Liberaglio and Off-Burst Helm, with the only thing changing being the B2 character. So with Crown, SPS did 1,597,000,000 damage while Liberaglio did 1,749,000,000 damage while Crown did another 568 million. Then with Nayuta, SPS did significantly less at 1,370,000,000 damage and Liberaglio doing about 45 million less, but Nayuta almost doubling Crown's damage at 1,055,000,000 damage. Then with Velvet, SBS did a measly 978 million damage and Liberaglio did 1,298,000,000 damage, which is a diabolical decrease, but Velvet herself did just shy of 800 million, which is quite respectable. Moving on, I wanted to see Crown versus Velvet as an off-burst for the same wind team with Nayuta. So with Crown, SBS and Liberaglio did 1,818,000,000 damage and 1,910,000,000 damage respectively, while Nayuta did 1,241,000,000 and Crown came at 420 mil. In the same team, but with Velvet, SBS dropped about 100 million and Liberaglio gained another 50 million. At the same time, Nayuta gained another 60 million and the off-burst Velvet put down 325 million damage. Next up, I wanted to see how she would perform as a replacement for Grave in the Water Snow White team, and it was not very good. We saw about a 25% decrease in the damage across the board except for her own damage, which was significantly higher than Grave's, and running her as an off-burst in this team was not worth it either. And lastly, I thought I was cooking with this team due to the Alex ammo mechanic, but I forgot that hers is actually a hit counter rather than an ammo shot, so Velvet's pouch doesn't actually build Alex stacks, but here is the comparison anyway. Significant decrease for everybody, and of course Velvet is popping off herself. So overall, her personal damage as an on-burst unit is really good. As a matter of fact, it is the second highest damage in the game after Nayuta, but the lack of her team buffs and no buffs that are activated during her burst make her a terrible pick for an on-burst use. She is generally a downgrade in most of the teams that I have tested and seen, but she is probably best in slot or a side grade to best in slot for a single team, and that team is the win team with SBS and Librario with burst Nayuta. In that team, the best in slot support is Crown for most scenarios, and Velvet produces very similar results as Crown does. So, for the investment, I'd recommend going for 7 on skill 1, 7 to 10 on skill 2, and 4 on the burst skill. Only go for level 10 on the burst skill if you plan to use her as an on-burst unit, as going from 4 to 10 on the burst skill gains about 28% increase in her personal damage. As for the overload lines, I recommend going for attack and 2 lines of ammo, but again, unless you plan to use her on burst, these are not too important. So with that said, let's go over to my final thoughts. When I first started testing her, she seemed like she was going to be a pretty decent substitute in rocket launcher and sniper teams, but her lack of buffs made me a little disappointed overall. She ended up being a pretty big downgrade in all teams besides one. And in that one team, she is best in slot or a side grade to best in slot, and it is also a meta team that is heavily used, so that is a plus. I think that makes her value even higher because that frees up Crown to be used elsewhere. So if you are lacking that flexibility or maybe missing Crown or Nayuta even, she may be a good pickup for you. For me though, I'm personally placing her in a specialized double S tier. She is a very good unit, but with a very limited placement options currently. And her insanely high personal damage is never going to be better than more buffs for B3 DPS characters from other better B2 units. So, should you pull for her? I would say that she is a good pickup in general, and especially so if you're looking to perfect that wind team. Not really worth pulling copies for in my opinion, but I think that is going to do it for this review. Hopefully I was able to help you out. Good luck on your polls, like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.